Hey folks, this is Noble Rambler, and welcome to another episode of Let's Play Banished in our slightly damaged starter town of Springview. We had a bit of a tornado last time. Came through here and just snipped off the top of our town, resulting in 11 deaths. Most of them children. Took out all of our students. Took out a whole generation. In fact, it's possible that we're in serious trouble as far as let's see here. What are our ages like? And we still have some kids in the bank. I hate to talk that way about it, but they get to where I don't know what the cutoff age is. It's probably in the 40s to 50, where they no longer produce children. So it may not be a bad idea to pop a couple more houses in here, just to entice the next generation to be born. In fact, let's just go ahead and do one right now. Yeah, we'll do something like that. Let's get this one built immediately. I know we're out of stone. I want to leave that one rock and that one tree. But let's go ahead and queue up over in this area. We have lots of stone queued up in the other area already. Is that where our 5 laborers are? Not hearing any tapping. We got tapping over here somewhere. Don't see you, but I hear you. Let's kick it back up to at least 2 times the speed. So we are making stone over here. So stone is going to start traveling in enough to get this one house going. So let's go ahead and prioritize it. This gets done first. Actually, let's pop into the school first and then the house second. So this should go here and then go back to the previous prioritized. These two going. Back, if we want to play that game, we'll go ahead and do that again. This will be our third one. So here, then here, then here. A lot of deaths. And unfortunately took out all of our younger ones. I mean, if we really had to sacrifice some, it would be the ones that are about to fall out of their working years and just basically be retired. Trying to remember if retirement is part of this game. If they work until they die, or well, I think their life expectancy really isn't that much beyond their working years, so probably not much of an issue. Let's take a look at the graveyard. Child idling. So we did wipe out most of our herbs. They were stored in the trading post. So we are tearing down. Oh, we do recover some of the materials. That's nice. This is being demolished. That's going to grant us the supplies that we need to get these going. This one is getting materials brought over. This will be the next one. We shouldn't get any more activity until this is done, and then it should go to this one. Though these were queued up beforehand to be demolished, and or they just do demolish before they do new construction. But this one is just finishing and left all these materials behind. Good. So it's not a complete loss. $84 degrees. Plenty of coats and tools in the system. No coal. Very little stone. Though it's not counting this yet because it's not in a stockpile. We've turned the tunnel off. The hunting cabin way over there off. Both the gathering huts that are just meant to mark the next forest nodes are paused. And the mine is probably the furthest from our needs right now. The mine will require a lot of employees. So the town has got to be, you know, built over in this area with the market, the town center, the whole works. Get several houses going before we're going to even think about supplying a mine. And for that matter, we've got the mine set over here. It may be that we want, although we don't want to mine too close to the housing. That's true. But maybe a mine over in this area would be more efficient. We'll see. We haven't committed any materials to it yet. So, how are we still looking for stone? We're still picking up stone. I'm guessing that the house has all the materials brought to it. Well, they actually are bringing material. Okay, they're bringing materials here because it's only the builders have something to do left here, so that freed up the laborers to get to work on the next one. Trading post will be next. So after all these materials are brought in, they'll start on the trading post, which is going to require a lot of stone. And it's over in this end of the map. So let's go back to queuing up more stone over here. Wooden house is done. Let's see who moves in. Meanwhile, let's queue up all of the stone in this area. So plenty to do. We've got basically a father and child that have moved in. So we're waiting for an eligible... Well, we have an eligible bachelor here. And his wife may be the one who died in the tornado. Maybe his wife was the teacher. Not sure. Or maybe that is a little sister. Don't know what the story is there. But all of this is available. Let's take out a few more trees in this area too. Do something like that. But I like little features like this sitting around on a map. It just makes it look a little more realistic. I don't like to clear cut everything. To leave a stone once in a while, that's a good thing. So firewood is maxed out again. That's fine. That's actually good. Let's leave the logs, the rest of the logs in the system for the projects we have going on. We popped that new house in. They have brought some firewood. They've got a lot of their supplies. There'll be no more fish here pretty soon. This one we will rebuild. So we'll go ahead and do that to reclaim the supplies out of it. And then we'll put a pause on that one. In fact, keep that up here as a reminder. Schoolhouse is being built. All of the materials are in. And now we're starting to work on the trading post, though we are going to be very much out of logs. This has been growing well over here. Logs are low. Let's go ahead and queue up a few of these trees to take out. And a few trees here and there to take out. Some logs that are a little bit closer to the construction site. Bunch of deer coming in. 16 clothes. Any hides? Hide coat. Looking for leather. So no leather in the system. 213 venison. So we've got 300 venison in the system. I'm debating whether or not to put another hunter in there before we hit another wave of new citizens and see this tumble again, this quantity. But actually, it is going to be a while before we're going to end up with houses full of people that are too old to have kids. So after we get these rebuilt, we may even want to pop one more house in. Food is still fine, 4,000. In fact, I'm thinking we can even take out one gatherer now. Now we have 2 out of 4 and 1 hunter. With the forest this dense, it must just be very, very efficient. 2 people working, and we brought in 1,000 berries. 750 of each other thing. Schoolhouse is built. Let's pop in a teacher. Good. And we'll start that process all over again. 10-year-olds and more. So the teacher lives here, and she's an she can be married. One thing we could try to do, let's analyze this a bit. Everything else is full of families. You can kind of force families together out of necessity. Decide yourself whether you think this is ethical, but this house has just been evicted. We're probably going to find them moving in and get married. The child did. That's interesting. The man must have moved back in with his family somewhere. Possibly right here. Huh. Let's turn that back. See who moves in. Really trying to get a young couple in here. He moved in with her here. Okay, so it just took a little bit of time. Logs are low, stone is low. And actually, here's where I was thinking. Well, where'd the teacher go? They moved into here. Okay, so swapped houses a bit. And a 10-year-old just... The 10-year-old didn't join the school. Maybe turned 10 just after this became active. That's a shame. Alright, trading post. Logs. We do have enough logs to finish it. We do not have enough stone to finish it. Or iron. Yeah, we do have enough iron. Okay. Schoolhouse is done. Fishing dock. We're going to pause. Not going to lose any materials on that. Tunnel has been paused. Hunting cabin paused. We're not going to have the employees, I'm thinking, to run a fishing dock now. We don't really need it. Food is fine and running on skeleton staff. It was just to get variety in there. You've seen how it works. My goal really for this town, especially since I accidentally put us in a mountain setting, is not to hit a certain population or any lofty goals. It's really just to be a let's play that demonstrates all the basics of the game. So we'll get every building built. We'll go through techniques and how to streamline and make more efficient. What size farms and corrals or pastures do we want to put in? You know, all the techniques of playing the game. And then we'll probably wrap this Let's Play series up and eventually get back to Banished in a different setting, and maybe then set a lofty goal and see if we can achieve it. But this one's going to be 20 or 30 episodes of just hitting all the basics and seeing the town grow to a modest size. You know, something that feels satisfying. So we are in search of stone. Stone is out, and we're hitting winter. That's a problem. Long walks to get stone are not something you want to do in the winter. It would be nice to get this trading post back up and running before spring hits. so we can catch that first trader and maybe get some seeds. Be nice to get a farm going. Still need 40 stone to pull that off. So how do we accomplish that? There's nothing to cannibalize. There's no trader coming to sell us stone. So all we can do is just make the long march. So to accomplish this, the only thing we can really do to increase our odds is just to increase the sheer number of people doing the job. They're going to make less efficient trips going in, just getting a few things and leaving, so it's not going to be done very efficiently. So the more people we can get in to do the job, the more even an inefficient process can be accomplished. So let's see, we've got 4 builders who aren't building, so they're actually acting as laborers. The gatherers, let's pull one more gatherer off. I don't want to kill the hunting completely. We do need at least a little bit of leather and venison coming into the system. So, because venison is our 5th food source, our 5th food type, and health starts to degrade when they're not getting at least, I believe, it's 5 types of food. Woodcutter, let's keep up on that. Well, you know, let's shut down woodcutting for right now. Tools are fine. Let's shut down tools. Blacksmith. We'll leave the tailor employed. We'll leave the hunter employed. Temporarily, let's shut down the gatherers. Okay, so we've got 9 laborers in the system right now. Foresters are bringing in logs, and we do have many needs for logs yet, so let's keep that going. The herbalist, I brought in 2 of 2. That's right, I was doing that experiment. Let's go to the herbalist. I guess you can't get there from here. Herbalist is here. This one. Huh, the herbalist, well, at least some logs are dropped off at the herbalist for some reason. Still, just not a large quantity all year long, 13 herbs. I'm thinking the herbalist is something that needs to be placed sporadically around the map in order to bring in large quantities. Because once the herbalist works through the forest one time, they come back very slowly. Though I have had some herbalists in the past and other maps where have been bringing in 200 to 400 in one season. So I'm not really sure how to explain that. But having 2 employed didn't do any good. We're going to leave the 1 employed for now. That was logs. That was stone. So we were at herbalist. Working our way through here. The tailor we're going to leave employed. The teacher will definitely be employed. And we'll kick the builders up to 4, though they're not actually working right now. They'll be acting as laborers. And I just fought the urge to turn off this window. Alright, so we have got 13 in the system that are making the long trek to find stone. So I guess the closest stone at this moment is right here. So they're making this trip. Anybody out over here? Just the deer. Now we did queue all this up, right? Yeah. Got orange X's underneath all of them. Do we ever queue up any over here? Yep, they are as well. So they're going to go to the closest stone. Theoretically. They proved me wrong before. Which apparently is down in this area. And there's probably a lot of stone already processed, so that just needs to be picked up. That's iron. And they'll head to the stockpile and drop off. Am I correct about that? It may be that they will path to a different stockpile. Drop off, pick up again, and drop off. Anyway, stone, we are at, hey, we're at 73 out of 80. We're going to be building soon. It is still middle of winter. We just might pull this off and get a trade ship in time. Great. I like how they build a little spot here for the trade boats to come through. Food is at 3,600. At 3,000 we'll want to get food going again. So 3,000 will be our trigger point. Still 11 in the cemetery. Trees falling over on their own. They hit maturity and they just die. Okay. Hey, we're building. Great. In that case, let's get the tunnel going next. We were only one stone away. Okay, tunnel is next. And we'll go ahead and pull the builders out to get that done. So we'll be basically up where we were, minus the fishermen, and we'll be able to get started this coming year. So we've lost 1 year, basically, due to the tunnel. Alright, firewood is fine. Stone is just trickling in, though there's no more call for it. Well, I thought the trading post was up and running. Normally it's usually 50% means that the materials are brought in. But there's so much material here that apparently it counts for a larger percentage of the overall project. So 60% is a starting point here and here. Huh, maybe it was never 50%. Just seemed that way. So let's kick the speed up a little bit. Not much to do right now, but just walk back and forth in the cold. 3 left here, 1 there. We did prioritize that, so they although this was laid in first. Yeah, we'll see. Though now we do have 8 builders, 4 for each project. I'm hoping we're going to see both projects being built simultaneously. And we are. Got builders at each. They went back and forth here, and they did not walk all the way around to work on the other end of the tunnel. Good. Kick that back down to 2. Trading post is almost done. Tunnel is 99% complete. And there it is. Our tunnel is in. Now we can begin pathing through here. And let's go ahead and toss a road out of here. I don't want to go too far because I don't know what our final layout's going to be. But let's definitely get all of this stone queued up. You know, I wonder, because we watched that one person go all the way to the very end of the field that I had queued up. So let's queue this up in chunks. Although I wonder if it's the opposite order that they will work in. That was the most recent chunk all the way over here. A lot of times getting good at a game is simply learning how the developer created the game and what they intended the game to do. So we're spending a lot of time just figuring out the rules that are running in the background behind the screen. How are these citizens programmed to function? These are probably still the closest materials. We still have a lot of trees queued up too. And we have a trading post again. Alright. Woodcutter, you're now back to work. 324 in the system. Let's get 300 in here really quick. What else can we move in? Did the ale get saved? Or was it still... The ale is not here. We bought all that ale and I'm thinking it was still at the trader. Who needs an employee? Okay. So, what was her name? Sitlali? Something like that? Survive the tornado? That was probably her. Sitlalis? That's probably her. Okay, so she survived the tornado, but she lost her job, so now she's a woodcutter. We have a student living with a teacher and married. Yeah, you see that in the news once in a while, and they usually go to jail. But not back in this day. Okay, these two are builders, which is probably going to become a trader. So one of these two, I'm guessing, are going to be eventually swap jobs and become a trader. But right now the trader is Garving. Where does Garving live? Click right there, you get their house. So they've moved in. Garving has moved in over here. And we do have a young couple living here now. Good. That's what we needed to happen. Okay, so herbs would have been good. Let's put 50 herbs in there. Iron, leather, mushrooms, stone, logs, no. That's all we've got. More coats. So that tells me that more deer have been butchered. Let's see, we got our two main projects done. So right now our builders are just out clearing, but we should probably get back to reemploying our economy. So let's get 2 gatherers going. Let's get our venison count up, so we gotta take this down to 2 builders. So we get another hunter going. Foresters, I'd say we're fine right now. We have a lot of logs in the system and the forest is nice and dense. We'll leave it just like it is. Herbalist is fine. Tools are fine. Tailor's fine. We saw before that the trader was very able to keep up with the supplies in and out, except for our ale, which appears to be gone. Let's see, is ale here? Ale is here, and we have none in the system. So the ale did not get moved out. You know, I'll bet you that the ale... Well, I don't know. Oh, I wonder if... Trying to second guess myself here. This would have stayed at 0. So the trader, I believe, would have worked to get these numbers to match what we wanted. So if there was 33 here and this was 0, I think she would have gotten rid of it. It may have been a low priority compared to some of the other items, though. Anyway, teacher. So our most important jobs, what I was saying was 1 trader is enough. That trading depot is capable of handling 6 employees, but 1 is sufficient for our size of town. Just like 1 herbalist is more than enough to handle our workload. So we do have some employees in the system. So supply wise, we're good on logs, but we're low on the stone and iron. Fishing dock, we do have enough to get this going again. So let's go ahead and do that. And let's tell them to go straight to it. Get that done. just to get some fish back into the system again. We may only have 1 or 2 fishermen there, but that will be fine. Question is whether to go straight into that hunting cabin. Where are we time-wise? Late spring. We did not get our dock done in time. I wonder if the dock is triggered. Blacksmith. We don't have a blacksmith yet because we're fine on tools. I wonder if the trade boat is triggered at the very beginning of the year and it takes them until spring to make the trip. And so if our trading post wasn't in at the turn of the year when 7 became 8 over here, that's why it didn't come. Even though we were built for spring, it would have had to have left far earlier. That's my assumption. Is that new? Oh, I guess that was already there. Do these don't tell you the name of who's in there. Okay. Yep, that is a good looking forest there. Alright, well we are approaching the end of this episode. I see a lot of Let's Players that concentrate on or average 20-minute episodes for all of their series, and I've heard said that 20 is just the right number for people's attention span, but I really have a hard time putting out 20-minute episodes. I go for a half an hour, and it's usually 35 to 40 minutes before that little bell goes off in my head saying, look at the clock, look at the clock. So I think I'm probably going to average 30 to 40 minutes on my episodes. It is so hard to turn this game off. I could sit here all evening long and just watch the progress and hear the birds chirping and the trees falling and little tappings of the woodcutter hitting nothing and producing firewood. Here's a laborer picking up and bringing it in. It's kind of nice that it isn't the woodcutter that has to do all the work, that the others will dive in and do what's needed. Firewood is back to 123. We're asking for 300 right now, and eventually we want to get up to 1,000 again. But we're not going to bankrupt the town. Now, let's toss in, food's at 28. Let's toss in one more house. Make sure to guarantee a young population. We only have 2 students out of all that. We've got to get this next generation going again. So let's put one more house in. Yeah, we'll do that. Prioritize it. Get them out of the woods and bringing supplies in. Oh, we had prioritized this one. How are we doing there? Fishing dock is ready for building. And I did turn it off, didn't I? You're probably saying as I did that, he turned it off. Alright, let's get builders up to 4. 2 students. House. Okay. So we get this house done. It should actually go up pretty quick. Like, let's kick this up to speed 5 while I'm talking. Get these 2 done. Then I think our next priority, next episode, is to start laying this out and talking about the principles and tactics in here. That may be the next phase of Springview. So, slow this back down, and in fact, let's just hit a pause, and if you enjoyed what you saw here today, please hit the thumbs up below and subscribe if you haven't already, and tell your friends about it. This is a fun game. Let's get more people watching. This is Noble Rambler. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.